Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we have not seen a 6.5 yet this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I don't recall seeing a 6.5 total. But this game is going to be the closest we get because, as you said, Dan, it's 7.5. It's now down to 7, but it's now 7 under minus 120. And of course, we saw something very rare the last couple of days in Coors Field. We saw three straight games with a total of 10 or less, including 9 and 9.5 the last two. And I can't recall the last time I've seen a total in the nines at Coors Field in quite a while. So that tells you something about this San Francisco offense. Yet on the season, they're 18 and 19 to the under, 19 and 18 to the under, rather. 18 overs, 19 unders. And they did go over those last two at Coors Field with 14 and 10 runs total scored. Cincinnati's a very interesting team. I've talked about them quite often on the shows over the last couple of weeks. About a month ago, I thought they were a vastly overrated offense. And the reason I said that was they were averaging about 5.5 runs a game, but they were hitting in the low 200s for the season. And I'm a big believer that batting average wins out over runs scored. And that's why I like to look at hits. I like to look at offensive momentum when handicapping baseball. And they have come back down to earth. Their runs scored have been cut by about 20% since then. They're averaging just over 4.5 runs, under 4.5 runs a game now. They're batting 209 on the season, 202 on the road. And their road bullpen's been terrible, 5.5 ERA away from home this year with 44 innings pitched. So, yes, the Reds are not a good team right now. They were a phony team at the start. They've lost 8 straight games here. They now take to the road after losing 6 straight at home against Baltimore and Arizona. Maybe it's a wake-up call for them. Meanwhile, San Fran is in that tough spot of returning home off a 10-game road trip, Boston, Philly, and Colorado. So I really am not interested in either side. I would agree with the under here, under 7. I would have liked 7.5 better, but that's still a very key number. And these are two of the weakest offenses in baseball. My only concern, though, is that the Giants did start to hit the ball in Coors Field with 10, 13, and 7 hits. So maybe the Reds team total under would be the safest play here if you're looking for an exact play. Right now, checking the Wager Talk live odds screen, they're both at 3.5. I wish I was getting a 4. But once again, Reds team total under 3.5 would make sense. Game under 7. And I would lean San Fran if it wasn't for the fact they were coming home off the extended road trip. That's my main concern.
Yeah, and we even had Goose here in the chat. I like Cincy here, but I can't get there with how bad they've been offensively. But Tokyo Brandon, I also don't want to lay 150 with San Francisco. So is there anything for you on the side here? Steve just touching upon that total. Seems kind of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of play. Anything on the side for you in this one? First 5 maybe?
Yeah, well, the Reds are interesting because they have one good player, and Webb has been amazing this year, though. So I definitely would not bet against him. Let me take a look real quick. Great TV when you're typing, but let me see. So yeah, I have both of these teams.
Just put the glasses back on. You'll be good, Tokyo Brandon. Just put the glasses back on.
It was Tony Finn for a second.
There you go.
But yeah, I wouldn't fade Logan Webb. That's for sure. So if anything, I'd go with San Francisco here on the side, but I'm not going to bet that. It's too bad.
And Brandon, what's interesting, Brandon, is Webb's coming off a couple mediocre starts. He'd gone 7 innings or more, 4 straight starts, and then he's gone 4 and 3.5. So 2 ways to look at that, right? That he is probably going to bounce back if he is a quality starter, or is maybe something wrong there.
Yeah,
and for what it's worth, go ahead.
Yeah, he was pitching a little over his head to start. I don't think he was that good.
A good point out here from our man Tyler in the chat. Really, the price I don't love, but if you want to kind of take both of what these guys are saying and find a play for it, he points out that Logan Webb, the earned runs allowed, it's 2.5. Like, if you really think Cincinnati is going to suck that bad, you can't get 3 earned runs here on the starting pitcher. It's minus 140 though. So a play that just as far as a prop goes, and something that seems like right around a decent number. That's something that while it's intriguing, Steve, at the price made more sense.
He's given up 2 or less in 6 of his 7 starts, including that last start when he only went 5 innings. Wow. He still only gave up 2 earned runs. So it's happened in 6 of the 7. The only time it didn't was at Texas when he gave up 4. So I think that's actually a very good play. That would be my preferred way to play this. It's not something I dig into, and not every book's going to have that option, but he's done it in 6 of his 7 games.